Hi everybody, it's Chocolate Milk here, welcoming you back to another episode of Lost Odyssey. In this episode, we are going to continue on from Gohtza City with Team Jansen and Ming. We're going on an adventure to try and find Kime, Sarah, Cook, Mac, Seth, whoever the hell we can find, because we are all separated. And we are so lost, we have no idea where anyone could have gone. It's just the two lovebirds all on their own. Which then leads me to believe, why would they want to find anybody? No. They gotta be with their friends. Make sure to collect all this stuff as usual as you move on. I think you can come back to this area, although I'm not too sure. But just to be certain, you should collect everything anyways. And we're headed toward the east, because everybody, pretty much, Cook, Mac, Kime, and Sarah, were all headed to the east. And if you remember, Ming and Jansen and Seth were headed to the west, and we've eventually kind of caught up to where they were. Come on, Jansen, she could have jumped that all on her own. Insert a boner joke here. That was very, very intimate. But anyways, we're almost out of this kind of decrepit, spooky, broken down city. Although, like I said, I think the last episode, I actually kind of like it. It's just kind of neat that they incorporated like every area of this game that they possibly could. You know. I mean, most games I think would be like, oh, a city's destroyed, you can never go back. But nope, in this game you get to go through the destroyed city. Just because it just adds that much more to the game. I think it's funny that all these fire extinguishers are still here, but yet the rest of the city is like destroyed. I don't know. You would think that a fire hydrant that's really tiny would be just obliterated immediately. But when you come to this little metal door here, you're gonna want to ram it and climb down the ladder. And we're actually out of the city part with Jansen and Ming, and we're back actually in a familiar looking area. We're on the train tracks. Now there's a chest around here, I just don't remember where it is. I think it's over by the wreck though, and it's hidden. Okay, there it is. Well, it's not really that hidden, but it's a little bit hard to see. So make sure to grab that before you leave as well. And then you're going to head to the next screen. And we're going to trek along the tracks, which is just going to be a lot of fun. And I apparently forgot to take the loading screen out, so that was a waste of time. But now we're on the eastbound track, which, you know, looks mighty familiar to me, but apparently it's a little bit different. Like we were doing with Cook and Mac, you're going to want to examine the orange boxes as they hold items. It's the same generic looking track that we were seeing before, really nothing different. It's beautiful scenery, you know, like they made it look really wintry and cold and everything like that, and with the mountains, but it is just such a boring part of this game. It's so boring. When you're playing, you're just basically running in a straight line, trying to get somewhere. But if you come up here, it's totally optional. You can use the HP MP restore point if you've been having any kind of trouble at all in this area, just using Jansen and Ming. But it's going to be the same enemies you've been running into if you ran into any enemies when you were cooking Mac. And they're very easy to take out, especially since Jansen and Ming are both higher level casters. There's one more box to grab. Another tower, and some more boxes, and another tower, and in a straight line. It just never ends. But fortunately, when you get to the end of this track, it'll go back to Cook and Mac. And I've sped this up because this is just so boring to watch. All you're doing is walking forward like you were doing before. And then we get this cutscene of these poor kids. You know, as stupid as they are, I can't imagine just how terrible that would be for any child to go through, or anybody for that matter, because that is cold. I'm Canadian, and I don't even think I could take that cold weather, especially wearing clothes like that. Then you also think about how long they've been walking forward. Like, God knows how long. They've just been walking and walking and walking in this straight line.
I can't move.
But I guess they're pretty much frozen at this point. Cook can't move. Probably got frostbite too. And it'll fade to the sky, and I guess you can't see it right now. But the old lady who was crazy actually wasn't lying, because the aurora is actually in the sky. So at least they weren't going on a wild goose chase with nothing to go after. They could have seen their mother, possibly, if they didn't pass out.
What is it?
I heard a voice.
A voice? Whose?
Jeez, I wonder what this could mean.
Sounded like a voice.
Cook and Mac are on a generic straight line. Jansen and Ming are in a generic straight looking line. Jeez Louise. You'll want to, of course, keep on with these stupid boxes. Luckily there's only a few of them. You're not having to pick up just tons of items in this area, although I guess it makes it interesting to kind of veer off to the right a little bit and be adventurous rather than be on the straight path. But and before you go on down the line, you can go to the left-hand side to another one of those towers that we've been seeing. We've seen a lot of them, and this one will actually have a save point for you to use. It's not just the HP restore point, it's both of them. So I recommend saving, because there's a spoiler boss battle coming up, which I'm sure you could probably see at this point. We haven't had a boss battle in a while. God forbid the game leaves us alone and doesn't give us a boss battle. So when you're ready, advance pretty much as far as you can go, and kind of swerve through these rocks, and look who it is.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Aww.
Cook.
It's so good to have friends.
She's so cold.
Friends will save you.
Wake up!
Smack the kid. Come on, wake up. He's cold. He's not. I don't think he's gonna feel that slap on his face. Quite honestly, his face is probably frozen.
Wake up, Cook.
Let's do it.
But yay, magic!
Liram, lend me your strength.
Power of magic will heal us all.
For the
That was
lives
real
of
life.
your
They'd be right
children.
fucked. I remember my dad was telling me he had hypothermia when he was little, and they didn't know what to do, because you can't like throw your kid in a hot shower, because it's just too much of a shock on the body. And because he got hypothermia, and then he got pneumonia, and my dad actually has like a stutter now. I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but I mean, if magic was there to save him, they wouldn't have had to worry. They could have just snapped their fingers and cast a white magic spell of cure all, and then heal, and he would have been totally fine.
What's going on?
It's boss time! It's just a really strange looking boss. It's just kind of weird how its head opens up. I've never understood that. But whatever, this boss is not too difficult, but it's still wise to use the save point in case you screw up. It's only one enemy that you have to deal with, and luckily they gave you Cook and Mac as well. It's not just Jansen and Ming, and you'll see that it's weak to water, so ground spells will be super effective. It'll do the most damage. However, the thing you have to watch out for is that this enemy will put up a shield, and it will reflect all of the magic back on the character that cast it. And that really sucks, because 3 out of 4 characters on your team are all magic casters. I consider Mac more of an attacker just because I tend to use him more for physical attacks than I do magic, but he is both. So with all 3 of your mages, you know, they're kind of sitting around here doing nothing. So what I would do is I would attack with Grounda or Groundus or whatever you have on the first turn, just to get a head start with the dealing damage before he goes and casts up that shield, because he might and he might not. It's totally by chance. He could never do it. He could do it on the first turn, on the second turn, but it's best not to take chances anyways. Just do it on the first turn, do some additional damage, get Powerous or Powera or anything that'll boost max attack on him, also making sure that you have good weapons and stuff like that on him. And then with your other characters, I would cast all shield or all barricade. I would say all barricade, which will protect you against magical attacks, just in case you do accidentally get countered, and that will save you a little bit of grief if you get hit. But you are really going to have to depend on Mac for this to do the bulk of the damage, which is why it's important when you're playing this game, if you haven't already figured it out, to pretty much utilize all your characters and just kind of switch your characters in and out. In every game, you know, we all have our favorites and our preferred characters, and there's a lot of characters in this game I don't like, and I certainly have a team that I prefer to use, but, you know, it's still important to switch them out every once in a while, kind of spice up your team a little bit. Especially with the mortals, you can just customize them so much, it's just crazy. As you can see, this guy has 6,000 HP. I decided to put something on so you could see it before the battle ended. And 6,000 damage in between 3 out of 4 people that you might not be able to use potentially, you know, is kind of a huge pain. So this battle is another one of those chance battles where if he doesn't put up that reflection, this battle will be easy as pie, but if he does, then you are pretty screwed because Jansen, Ming, and Cook are pretty useless. So anyways, I got really lucky with that battle. I did really good. He didn't put up that shield, so I'm good to go.
That wasn't very fun.
Even got a level up right on.
You all right?
It's funny that they were able to battle, but I guess they just got healed, so that makes sense. But it's just like, geez, 5 minutes ago you were frozen and passed out. Oh, video game logic.
They were trying to help us when the train derailed. It slammed into a huge wall of ice. There was an explosion. That's all we saw. They might be dead.
No way.
So now that we have Cook and Mac, we're still missing a lot of people on our team. We're missing, you know, Kaim's there, we're missing Seth. We now picked up 2 other party members, Seth and Tolton, and we're missing them too. So now it's up to us to try and reunite everybody one by one.
They're immortals. I know they gotta be alive. I mean, whoever heard of a dead immortal? Let's go.
So now Cook and Mac and Ming and Jansen are all one party, so just remember that for the next time that you get switched to their team. In the next video, we are going to get switched to Seth and her party, so I will see you guys then, and I thank you guys all so much for watching.